Have you ever hunted a site where every target sounded like one long jumbled signal? Or maybe you've wondered why another detectorist finds coins hiding between nails that your detector completely misses. The answer might not be your detector. It just might be your recovery speed. Today I'll show you exactly what recovery speed does, when to speed it up, when to slow it down, and how to choose the right setting for every hunt. Hi guys, Scott here from the Mental Metal channel and mentalmetaldetecting.com, where our mission is simple. Knowledge finds more treasure than luck. In lesson 1, we learned how discrimination helps decide what we hear. In lesson 2, we learned how sensitivity controls how strongly our detector responds to weak signals. So today we're putting together another important piece of the puzzle into place, and that's recovery speed. This setting can make the difference between hearing one blended signal or hearing two completely separate signals. By the end of today's lesson, you'll know exactly how to adjust your recovery speed for parks, fields, relic sites, and trashy areas. Today we'll answer 4 questions. What is recovery speed? Why does it matter? When should you use a slow setting? When should you use a fast setting? So let's get started. So what is recovery speed? Recovery speed controls how quickly your detector resets after responding to one target before it's ready to respond to the next. Think of your detector like someone listening to a conversation in a crowded room. If they spend too much time listening to one voice, they may miss someone speaking right beside them. If they switch too quickly, they may not fully understand either conversation. Your detector works the same way. Recovery speed determines how quickly it moves from one target to the next. A slower recovery speed allows your detector to spend more time analyzing each target. That often means better depth, stronger audio, better performance and clean ground. This makes slower settings ideal for open fields, beaches, large yards, and areas where targets are spread far apart. However, the trade-off is that nearby signals may blend together. A faster recovery speed allows your detector to separate nearby targets much more effectively. This is especially useful when hunting old parks, schools, cellar holes, or iron-infested home sites, or anywhere good targets are mixed with trash. The trade-off is that extremely fast settings can slightly reduce depth on very weak targets. Imagine there's a silver dime lying only 2 inches away from an old square nail. With a slow recovery speed, those 2 targets may sound like one messy signal. Increase the recovery speed, and suddenly your detector has enough time to report each target separately. That's called target separation. And it's one of the biggest advantages of a faster recovery speed in trashy sites. One of the biggest mistakes beginners make is assuming that faster is always better. It's not. Recovery speed should match the site you're hunting. If you're in a clean farm field, a slower setting may help you hear deeper targets. If you're at a trash-filled park, a faster setting may help you pick out good targets hiding amongst the junk. There's no single best recovery speed. The best setting is the one that matches your conditions. Recovery speed is another one of those settings where you have to find the balance. And you have to weigh your conditions out before you even get into it. If you're in a park or somewhere there's a lot of trash, you may want to use a higher recovery speed. Places like that, parks, cellar holes. But if you're in the field and you don't hear a lot of stuff in the ground, it's wide open, that's when you can get away with using a lot less recovery speed to get more depth. You can also do this at the beach as well. If you have a beach that's not contaminated with a lot of trash, you can use a lot less recovery speed because you don't need the separation. So the higher the separation, or the higher the recovery speed, equals the higher the separation. Now, if I go over to recovery speed, which right there is 6 by default on the legend here for this program, I can hear my targets in the ground fairly easy. This is the, you can go up as high as 10 on the Legend 2 for your recovery speed. Now when you do that, you are now operating at maximum recovery speed. Does that affect your depth on the machine? Let's try it. You can still hear that mercury dime at 10 inches, but listen to how short the signaling is, or the signal sound is. Now if you lower this down to something like 3 and go over the same target, see how much longer and clearer that signal is. Okay, but if you raise it up again, like if we raise it up to 10 and we go over that again, see how short it is? So what this is doing is it's shortening the signal amplitude a bit. It's cutting that signal off a little bit. So in theory, if you had another target next to it, you would hear both of them. The lower the recovery speed, the more clear the signal is going to be, or longer I should say, elongated. The higher you go is when it starts chopping it up. So keep that in mind for a minute. Alright guys, I moved into the garage to demonstrate the next thing about recovery speed. So in the garage here, I have 3 targets on the ground. My recovery speed is at 6, what the default is for this machine, the Legend 2. And I have a quarter, silver ring, and a Civil War bullet. I can hear every one of those signals. So I can hear them all fine, right? Now if you raise the recovery speed up to 10, the max, the signal is shortened. And you can hear them all, right? Alright guys, for the next demonstration, I don't know if you can see or not, but I put a nail next to that ring. I took the quarter and I took the pull tab away. Or not the pull tab, the Civil War bullet. Say hello to Rocky. So I got these 2 targets on the screen. I'm going to bring my recovery speed back down to 6 where it was. And I turned it in all metal mode so you should be able to hear everything. So let's see if we can hear both targets. So I'm getting a double blip. Target ID is jumping around a lot. But what if we actually raise up the recovery speed? Let's raise it up to 10, see what happens. This is the highest setting you can raise it to. Can you isolate that ring from that nail? Yes, you can. If you bring it down to 6, where it was, it's having a little trouble because it's seeing that nail next to it, but it's still pulling it out if I get real close to it. But if I go just a little bit over to the side, it starts bringing it down again. But at 10, recovery speed of 10, I can really isolate that ring from that nail. And that's because you're shortening the signal. So that's just one simple comparison, guys, with a nail. There's all kinds of demonstrations out there, but you get the point. Bury yourself some targets in your ground, in your backyard, make yourself a test garden, and try these settings out. But the higher the recovery speed is, you're shortening that signal up a little bit, making it easier to pick out this ring from that nail. But if you lower your recovery speed all the way down, you're going to get more depth, but you're also making that signal a lot longer and you're going to have bleed over from another signal. So my recommendation is find the sweet spot. On this machine, it seems to be 5 or 6. I can isolate that ring at 6 pretty good. Once in a while I'll get bleed over. But if you want to try a little higher, 7 will do it too. So there you go. Hope this helps. Today's mental metal tip is simple. In clean ground, slow down. In trash, speed up. That's an easy phrase to remember in the field. Clean ground usually rewards a slower recovery speed with better depth. Trashy ground rewards a faster recovery speed with better target separation. Whenever you arrive at a new site, take a moment to think about the conditions before choosing your recovery speed. Well, before we wrap up, remember these 3 key points. Number 1, recovery speed controls how quickly your detector responds from one target to the next. Number 2, lower recovery speed generally provides better depth and cleaner ground. And number 3, higher recovery speeds help separate good targets from trash in heavy hunted areas. If you remember these 3 things, you'll already be ahead of many beginners. And before you go, don't forget about our monthly detector giveaway. Every month, one lucky supporter wins the metal detector of their choice, up to the value of our monthly prize. Currently, it's a MindLab Manicore. You can go up as high as that. There are 2 ways to enter. Become a Patreon member at the silver tier or higher, or join as a YouTube Alliance member. Be sure you signed up by the 25th of the month to be entered automatically. A huge thank you to Fort Bedford Metal Detectors for helping us make these giveaways possible. They ship the detector to you. I purchase them, and they ship it to you. In our next lesson, we're going to tackle another setting that confuses many beginners, and that's ground balance. You'll learn what it does, why it matters, and how setting it up correctly can improve both stability and target identification. You won't want to miss it. So if you found today's lesson useful or helpful, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with someone who's just getting into metal detecting. I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. Thanks for watching.